Hi, writers. All right, you've got your plan. You know what showing and writing is versus telling, and now's our opportunity to put it into action. You're going to be using a Google Doc and typing your draft of your fiction story. If you already had a Google Doc where you put your personal narrative, you're going to be using the same one. If you didn't have one, your teacher has shared one with you today, and I'm going to show you where to go to find it. You want to find on your iPad the app that is called Docs. It's white with a blue sheet of paper and white lines on it. When you click on that app, it's going to give you this screen if you haven't signed in, or it's going to give you all your documents if you've already signed in. Sign in at the bottom, click continue. You're going to need to type in your school email, which if you do not know it, your teacher can give it to you. It's your first name, underscore, last name, 2030 at noble.k12.in.us. Then you're going to enter your password, which is the same password that you use to get into Canvas, and click go. Oops, got to enter it correctly. Once you're in, you guys will not get this. Just teachers have this part. And it's letting me in. Sorry about that. Now that I'm in, I'm going to have on my screen my writing documents. The very first one it says Mrs. Shrink's writing, but if yours is not in your Google Docs, it's in your shared with me. To get that, you're going to tap the 3-line menu in the top corner. You're going to click on shared with me. That's where your teacher will have sent you your writing. It's going to say your name and writing. I'm going to go back to mine. When you open it up, it has, if you had a personal narrative writing, it has that at the top. And then you want to scroll down underneath your personal narrative writing. And you're going to see a section titled Fiction Story Writing, November 2020. When you get to that section, we've got 5 titles there: Character and Problem, Rising Action, Climax, Solution, and Character Change. These are the same as the 5 sections on your story arc. So we're going to be using those 5 boxes to help us write the 5 scenes we need in our story. We're going to just do the first one today, Character and Problem. We're going to introduce our story with a character and the problem that they have, but we're going to do it not by just telling, but by putting our character into a scene. So I'm going to hit my home button and go to Notability to look at my story arc. So I'm finding my story arc, I'm opening it up, and I'm focusing on just box 1. Describe what the character wants and what problem is getting in the way. Amanda feels taller than other kids her age, and it keeps her from feeling like she fits in well. I want you to notice how when I type my story, I don't just say that. I don't just tell the reader that. But instead, I'm going to put Amanda into a scene. So I had to think about, okay, a 3rd grade girl feels like she's too tall. What might be something that's in her world or something that happens to her that makes her feel too tall? Well, as a tall girl, something that I used to really dislike was that none of my pants were long enough. So I started my scene out with a good dialogue where Amanda is sharing with her mom that she can't find any pants long enough in her drawer. So it says, "Mom, I can't find any pants that are long enough in my drawer," Amanda yelled down the stairs while she was getting dressed for school. "This isn't fair," thought Amanda, who was feeling like the tallest girl in the world. So I'm able to share how Amanda's feeling about being tall without just telling the reader about that feeling. I'm putting her in a scene where she's talking to mom and sharing that thought. Amanda was an 8-year-old 3rd grader who was as tall as a middle schooler and really disliked not blending in with her friends. The doctor told her at her last checkup that she'd grown 5 inches over the summer. This is not what she wanted to hear, because she knew that meant she was going to be stick out of the crowd. So I'm putting her in that scene, something that's happened to her, describing what happened to her that expresses her feelings about being tall. She's not happy about it, okay? And I'm trying to set that scene for her. I end it with feeling a lack of confidence. She pulled the same pair of long jeans out of her hamper and hoped that no one at school would notice that she wore them yesterday. So, an action at the end to kind of kick off my story with Amanda feeling really discouraged about being so tall. So your job today is to look at your first box, think about your character's problem, what's getting in the way, and how can you put them into the scene, use dialogue, use action, and share how they're feeling at the beginning of your story. You're going to type it right in here underneath the red title. You can change your font to a size 14 if you'd like, but don't make it too big. Otherwise, you shouldn't change the colors. You shouldn't change the fonts. You do not need any emojis in your writing. You're just typing your story. If you're not sure how to spell something, spell it the best you can. This is our rough draft. So good luck, writers, writing your very first dramatic scene of your fiction story. Have fun.